This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the last session, we discussed about this. What is the shell scripting? Why we need to use this shell scripting? What are the prerequisites to learn this shell scripting? And how to write the shell scripting? So after writing, how we are going to give the execute permissions? How we are going to run the shell script? So all these things we discussed it right. But we didn't execute it. We discussed how many ways we can run the shell script, but we didn't execute it. Okay, so let me run this script in different ways. Okay. So already I connected to this Linux server. So I'm going to create a one directory, name mkdir shell script. Go inside this particular directory. Okay, so we're in this particular directory. So I'm going to create this one. Okay, first script.sh. First script.sh. Type I. It'll come insert mode. Then you can write this one. So this is the cbang line. So already handwritten and these things. Let's copy paste this one. Save it. So if you try to run this one, is it going to run? No. See here, it is showing that permission denied. Permission denied. Why? Because we didn't provide execute permissions. See here, we didn't provide execute permissions for this particular file. So now I'm going to provide chmod u plus x execute permissions user. See, just you can type lsfnl. See now. Now I'm going to run this one. First script.sh. Okay, let's execute. See here, welcome to first script. So like this, what are the commands which we specified in this file? It is going to execute one by one. So that's why if you observe that first it is displaying this one, because in our shell script it is going to execute from top to bottom one by one command. So whatever the commands which we specified here, these commands are going to take one by one by the shell, and the shell is going to give to the operating system to execute. Right. So that shell is going to give to the operating system to execute. Okay. So now I'm going to run in different ways. So this is one way. I'm going to use in different this one like this sh first script, bash first script, csh first script, ksh. So like this, specify the script name and then specify the file name. So like this also you can run this shell script. So we can run this shell script in different ways. In one of the interview they asked. So I have one shell script called as hello.sh. How many ways we can run it? We can run in different ways, right? So this is one way. So like this. So whatever the shells are available in our server, with the help of those shells also we can the shell and the shell name, shell the shell name. So like this we can run this shell script. Okay. So we executed this shell script in normal mode, like running this shell script, and it is executing one by one command and displaying the output. But my requirement is I want to run this shell script in debug mode. I want to run this shell script in debug mode. So what to do? So if you want to run this shell script in debug mode, we are going to use -x option. See, this is one way of running the shell script, right? Along with this one, just if you specify -x option, if you specify the -x option, so it is going to run in debug mode. So debug mode means in shell script, debug mode means it is going to execute that it will display the command name output, so that easily we can able to check, right, which command, what is output it is giving, right? So easily we can able to check it. So let's see. If you observe that this is the command, this is output, this is the command. So in future, if you are not getting proper output or you are getting some errors, where we are getting the errors, why we are getting the errors, so then easily you can able to identify, right? So when you run the shell script in debug mode, easily you can able to identify that which command is giving that wrong output. See, one command output we are going to use that input to the other command. So if one command is giving wrong output, the end result we may not going to get properly, right? So if you run the shell script in debug mode, easily you can able to identify. Easily we can able to identify, right? Okay. So instead of running entire shell script in debug mode, we need to run the few commands or few lines I want to run in the debug mode. What to do? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. So what are the lines we need to run in debug mode? Keep that line or those lines in set-x and set plus x. So what are the lines you are going to keep in between this one? Only those lines are going to execute. So only this line is going to execute in debug mode now. Let's see. Yeah. First script data set. Set-x. Set only one line. I'm keeping in between this set-x and set plus x. Let's see. So now if you run this one, this script, and if you observe that only this line is executing debug mode. Only one line, right? So like this we can run this shell script in entire shell script or the specific line debug. Okay. So now I'm going to run like this one. Sh first script data sh. So first let me. So now if I run like this one, all the lines are going to execute in debug mode, or few lines are going to execute in debug mode. Which lines? Can you tell me? What are those few lines? Chandra is saying that few lines. Yes, few lines. Agree. See, it is going to start from first line to till this set plus x. So once it reaches that set plus x, it is going to stop automatically this debug mode. It will stop. Once it reaches here, it is going to stop. Even though we are running, okay, like this set-x, so it will start that debug mode here and till here. Once it reaches here, it will stop forcibly. These three lines are not going to execute. Let's see. Observe that. It's executing first line, second line, and once it reaches here, see these three lines not executing in debug mode. Okay. So like this, we can run the shell script in debug mode, and we can identify that the issues. What are the issues are there? Okay. Clear, guys? So we discussed how we can run that shell script in normal way and debugging method. So the next one is the file naming conventions. Okay. So before that, see here, first shell script. First line is called as a shebang or bang line. It is nothing but the absolute path of the bash interpreter. So here we are using that bash. So like that you can use that different shells also. Okay. So next one is file naming conventions. So we have given that file name as first script.sh, right? So we have given some few characters. So like this, we can give that up to 255 characters as the file name, but we are not going to give those many, right? But up to 255 characters you can give, right? And the file name may contain alphabets, digits, dots, underscores. You see, this is one of the valid file. In this file, you will see that alphabets, underscore, then numbers, and dot. Right. Alphabets, digits, dots, underscores. Right. The system commands are Linux reserved keywords. We should not supposed to use the file name. See, ls is a one command. We should not supposed to use. It is not a valid. mkdir.sh. It is not a valid. You should not supposed to. So like this, you can give these files, but you should not supposed to give that commands. You should not supposed to give any command, and also some keywords. If is a keyword, fi is a keyword, for is a keyword, then right case. So like this, many keywords are there. These keywords we should not supposed to use as the file names. If you go and search here, Linux shell keywords, right? If else break, just click on more, do done for ESAC case. So like this, some keywords are there. These keywords we should not supposed to use as the file name. Same way in the Java also. In Java we have some keywords are there. Those keywords we should not supposed to use the file names. We should not supposed to use as the file names. And file system is case sensitive. Means see here basket.sh, basket.sh. Is both are same files? Is both of the files are same? No, both of the files are not same. See here B uppercase and B lowercase. These both of the files are not same. Right. See mithun.sh, mithun.sh. These files are also different. These files also different. So these are the valid files. See, the file should start with alphabets, and in between you may have numbers also. But this is not a good advice to keep that starting with the file name with numbers, ends with alphabets. Start with alphabets, and you can keep in between or end this numbers. And also giving this extension .sh is the best practice. Even if you don't give also, it will work, but better to give this .sh is the extension. Okay. So these are the best practices you have to follow. Even if you don't give also, it will work. Right. But we have to follow the best practices. Have to follow best practices. Okay. So the next one is comments. Why we need to use these comments? In any programming language, any scripting is going to support this comments. Why we need to use these comments? Anybody? Any? Comments gives that more understandability and more readability. See, as a developer, I have developed a number of lines of code. See, in the real time, and the same file, other developers also going to work. So whatever the code which you have written, that code they are going to update other developers. So that in that whatever the code which you have written, in that code some functions are there, variables are there. So for what purpose you have written that function? What this function is going to do? What is the use of this variable? If you keep some comments, right? So if you share with others also, easily they can able to understand. Easily they can able to understand. So comments will give more readability and understandability of the code. So I will give you that one experience incident. What happened? If you don't give this comments, what will happen? Say, when I was working as a Java developer initially, I have written that one very big Java file. More than 2,500 lines of code is there. So in that module, I was working. I thought of okay, I'm only going to work on this one. Okay, anyway, I know this file, this function, these functions and all. Like that, I didn't give any comments. So after 1 year, I got that one CR change request, means some modifications, some enhancements. So that time, while I'm going through that code, I was not able to recall for what purpose I have written this one, right? So if you could give this comments at any time, I can able to understand. Oh, for this purpose, I have written this function. This line of code going to execute, right? So like that, we are going to keep this comments. If you don't give the comments, it will take some time again. It is very difficult to for what purpose I have given. We need to go through again. Clear? So the shell script is supporting that two types of comments. One is single line comments. Another one is multi-line comment. How we are going to represent the single line comment? So already we discussed it. Hash, where we use this single line comment. In our Linux commands, we already used it. Where? Cron tab. Thank you. Where is this one? In cron tab. And multi-line comment. Less than the string, that is the opening and closing. So whatever the string which we are using here, the same string you have to use. Suppose here I am using this comment. So exactly you have to give like this one. Opening and closing. Opening and closing. You have to give exactly like this one only. Suppose here you are giving that C uppercase. Here also you have to give C uppercase. Otherwise, it is not going to work. Otherwise, it is not going to work. Okay. But we don't want to give this one. Only starting we are going to give less than this comment like this one. And we don't want to give this greater than and all. Okay. So in the Java, how we are going to represent this multi-line comment? Slash star. Here you can write that what are the commands closing with star slash star slash. So like this you can specify it. So now let me write. So what are the lines which you are going to keep in the comments? Those lines are going to execute. No, those lines are not going to execute. It is going to ignore. It is going to ignore. Okay. So let me write. And I'm not going to give this any extension. I'm not going to give any extension. Okay. Let's execute this one. See, only the file name is comments. So the file name is only the comments. Type I, it will come in set mode. Then, so you can write that here. Echo comments demo. Then echo single line comments stars. Echo one is commented echo multi-line comments started. So here this string, your wish, whatever the string you want, you can give. But exactly the same string you have to use for closing. Okay. ls command, mkdir, host name, and I'm closing. Echo comments demo over. Comments demo over. So like this, I have written. Save it. So now you can see this file having this execute permission. This file is not having the execute permissions. But we can able to run it and see the content in this particular file. So if I run this shell script, what are the lines are going to execute? Which lines it is going to execute now? Line number 1, 2, and 4, 10. 1, 2, 4, 10. Yes, correct. Line number 3 is not going to execute. Yes. Line number 5 to 9 also not going to execute. Right. Line number 5 to 9 also not going to execute. Why? Line number 5 comment started. Line number 9 comment ends. In between this multi-line comments, what are the comments you are going to keep? Those comments are not going to execute. Right? Let's see. sh comments. And also if you observe that this okay, so line number 1 comments demo, line number 2 single line comment starts, line number 4 multi-line comments started, line number 10 comments demo over. Yes, it's executing fine. And if you observe that this comments file, do you have extension .sh? we don't have that extension .sh. And also, if you observe that this file don't have execute permissions. But this file having this, it is running, right? Say how we are running sh and file name. So sh is a one program, one shell. Shell is nothing but it's a program. Sh is nothing but it's a shell. Sh is a one shell. Shell is nothing but it's a one program. So that program already having that execute permissions. That program having this execute permissions. So when this file, when this program having execute permissions, and we are giving this shell script as input, so it is going to embedded with that script. So that's why without giving execute permissions also it is going to run when if you run in this way. But see, if you run now also we are not going to see, it is showing the permission denied. Clear? So clear about this comments. Okay, let's go to this document. So comments are used to escape from the code. Means whatever the comments which we are going to keep, those lines are not going to execute. Sometimes we don't want to run some lines of code. That time also we are going to use this comments. This part of code will be ignored by the program interpreter. Adding comments make things easy for the programmer while editing the code in future. Yes, single line comments can be do by using this hash. Multi-line comments can be do by using the here a document feature. So this one we are going to call as here a document feature. Right. So two types of comments are there. One is single line comments, another one is multi-line comments. Clear guys? So Vishnu is also said what is the difference between sh and dot slash which we different ways. So here what we are specifying dot slash this one. So in the current directory this first script.sh is there and you can run it. So if you keep like this one, if you try to run like this one, it is not going to run. Why? Because in this case we don't have execute permissions for this particular file. So the next one is variables. What do you mean by variable? Anybody idea? Variable is nothing but it's a one memory location where we can store the values. Right? Variable is nothing but it's a one memory location where we can store the values. So we have two types of variables. So what are the two types of variables? What are those? One is system defined variables. Another one is user defined variables. System defined variables, user defined variables. What do you mean by system defined variables? The name itself is there. System defined variables. The variables which are created and maintained by the system. System means here shell, right? And we are going to call it the shell variables also. These variables we are not going to create. These variables we are not creating. By default, these variables are available, and default some values also set. How to see this all these system defined variables? You can execute env command, or you can execute that print env command. Okay? You can execute that env command or print env command. So if you execute this env command and see that, if you observe that here, after executing this env command, it is displaying that all the command, these variables, whatever it is there in the left side, variable name, and whatever it is there in the right side, value. See, shell is a one variable. This is a default shell. Hist size is a one variable. 1000 is a value. PWD is a one variable. This is a value. See guys, this capital letter PWD and lowercase PWD is both are same? Both are different. Both are different. So here uppercase PWD is a command, lowercase PWD, sorry, uppercase PWD is a variable, lowercase PWD is a command. Lowercase PWD is a command. Hist size is a one variable. User is a one variable. Shell is a one variable. So like this, we have many variables are there. Many variables are there. So if you execute the env command or print env command, it is going to display that all the variables. But I want to display that specific variable value. Is it possible? Yes, it is possible. Echo. Echo is the command which can be used to display the content in the console. So if you want to display any variable value, we are going to use this dollar symbol. We are going to use this variable. Along with this variable name, we are going to use the dollar symbol. So it is going to display this variable value. Right. Even if you want, you can use this flower bracket. Within this flower bracket also, you can specify. Okay. And also, if you observe that each system variable is defined with uppercase. Yes or no? See, host name, hist size, shell, PWD, home, right, user, all these variables. These are the system defined variables. All the system defined variables are in uppercase, right? So now I am going to display the specific variable value echo dollar user. See, who are going to execute this command, that user is going to display, right? So who are going to execute this command, that user is going to display. PWD, see, lowercase PWD is, both are giving same output, right? Both are giving same output. Echo hist size, hist, see that 1000 hist size. So is it possible to increase the decrease or increase or decrease the history size? Yes, possible. So for that one, we are going to use this one command export hist size is equal to 200. I am giving that history size is 200. So once if I execute this one, this command, hist size 200. So it is going to display this one. Let's execute. So now if you execute this command, echo dollar hist size, see that it is displaying that 200. So it is a just a temporary change. So again, if you stop the server and if you start, the size is going to change. If you stop and if you start the server, again it is going to change to the 1000 only, default one. So if you want to make it permanent, what to do? Even after restarting, so you have to add this command. You have to add this command in the, so each user having that one file called as bash underscore profile. Each user having one file called as dot bash underscore profile, where in the user home directory, in the user home directory, you will see this bash underscore profile. Okay, just you can add at the end of this file, this line. So it is going to make it permanently that the history size 2000 200. So in that case, even if you restart the server also, the size is not going to change, right? And also echo dollar shell. See that? So like this also you can say. So you can use that env command, or you can use this print env command to display that all the system defined variables. So what are the variables are there? Those variables are going to display. So if you want to display the specific variable value, we are going to use that echo command. Along with the echo command, variable name, and we are going to specify the dollar symbol. So that variable you can keep within the flower packets, or you can keep without keeping this flower packets also, it is going to work. So no. So we executed this without flower packets. Now let me execute this one with the flower packets. See, it is working. Clear. So these system defined variables we are not going to create. We are not going to set the values. By default it is available, and values also available. If you want, you can change these default values whatever you want. Clear. Next one is user defined variables. User defined variables. What do you mean by user defined variables? Name itself is then user is going to define these variables. User is going to define these variables and going to set the values also, right? So if it is a C language, it is a C language, int a, int b, right? Int a, int b, int c, string name. So like this some variables are there, like this some variables are there. So here a, b, c, name, these are the variable names. These are the variable names. What about this one? Int, string. These are the data types, right? So if it is a C language, C++, Java, we are going to maintain the data type along with the variable name. But in our shell script, we don't have the data type concept. A, B, C, name, like this one. So creating a variable and assigning a value is called as initialization. Creating a variable and assigning a value is called as variable initialization. Variable initialization. So int a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to 30, name is equal to Mithun Technologies. Right. So here some notes you have to remember. The variable name and the value. You should not supposed to give any space. Just we are giving that assign operator equals. This one usually assign we are going to call. A is equal to 10. Yes, this is assignment operator. B is equal to 20. C is equal to 30. Name is equal to Mithun Technologies. So you should not supposed to give the spaces. See here we are giving the spaces, right? Here it will work. But in the shell script, we should not supposed to give the spaces. Should not supposed to give the spaces. So if you want to display this variable values, we are going to use a dollar symbol, dollar variable name, and make sure all the user defined variables keep in the lowercase. Make sure all the user defined variables keep in the lowercase. Why? If you give that uppercase, are we going to get any error? Are we going to get any error? We are not going to get any error. We are not going to get any error. But as a best practice, we need to give this one. Why? To differentiate user defined variables and system defined variables. So all the system defined variables are in uppercase. Already we know. All the system defined variables are in uppercase. To differentiate system defined variables in and user defined variables, we need to give that all the user defined variables in lowercase. Clear? It is a best practice. We have to follow these best practices. That's all. Right. Okay. So now I'm going to create this one. I'm going to create one shell script to demonstrate this user defined variables. VI user defined variables dot sh udv udvars dot sh. Okay. Type I, it will come insert mode. Then so this shebang line is mandatory, guys. No, I'm not going to give. Let's see whether it is going to work or not. echo user defined as a demo, age equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to 30, name is equal to Mithun Technologies. See this string you can keep within the single quotes or can use double quotes also. If you see, if it is a Java, C++, we are going to use that double quotes to define the string. We are going to use double quotes to define the string. Right. Next, here I'm going to display echo $A, $B, $C, name. Let's see. See here. Now, if I run like this one, sh user defined variable start sh, a value is 10, b value is 20, c value is 30, and name Mithun Technologies. It is going to display. So let's exit. See here, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to 30, name. Now my requirement is I want to display this the description also. A variable value is, b variable value is, c variable value is, name variable value is, like that. So for that one, here a variable value is, here we use that, you can use single quotes or double quotes. Variable value is c variable value is name variable value is. Okay, let's see. Just you can run it. After that, here it is not displaying. When we are using this echo command, you should give that in the double quotes. Okay, just for specifying a string, you can use that single quotes or double quotes. But when we are displaying the variable value along with a command, this echo command, you have to keep within the double quotes only. Save it. Now you can run it. Sh user defined variables dot sh. See that a value, b value, c value, and this one name. Right. So now I am going to change this one. Suppose here age equal to 40. Save it. So now, what is the a value? Ten or 40? A value is 40 now. Why? Because if you see that here again we are overriding. Right. A value is 40 is going to override. Now you can run it sh user defined variables dot sh. See that a value is 40. Now I am going to update and so here what is the a value? Here a value is 10 and here a value is 40. Let's see. Save it. Escape colon wq. You can run it sh user defined variables dot sh. See that a value is 10, a value is 40, like this. So like this, you can use these variables. And now let's give this space here. A is equal to 10. I'm giving space. Now you can run it sh user defined variables dot sh. See here, it is showing that command not found because we have given the space. So here or here, you should not supposed to give the space. Right. Clear? Anybody have any questions, guys? So this is variables are very important, and we are going to use this user defined variables, system defined variables also. Suppose if I keep this inside this one echo the user name is $user. Let's see sh user defined variables. See here, these system defined variables you can keep in the our shell script. So for displaying the system defined variables, we can use that env command or print env command. Alright. But is there any command to display that user defined variables? No, we don't have. Right. We don't have any command to display that user defined. Same variables we can use in another shell scripts also. Same variables we can use in another shell script also. So if you want to see all these user defined variables, just open the shell script and see that variable names. Okay, clear guys? And this is also very important note you have to remember. Okay. So tomorrow we'll discuss one very important topic, command line argument. Don't miss this one. It is very, very important topic. In the real time also we are going to use n number of times. At the interview perspective also we are going to get many questions on this one. Okay. Thank you guys. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.